It all comes down to this, the Daytona regular season finale here. 16 drivers will be about to be fighting for a Cup Series championship now, and, well, the task is simple. We must win to get in. We knew that already quite a while ago, but obviously now it's real as it gets. Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on Daytona, where we have as good of a chance as anybody to win our way into the playoffs for this Tricon Garage team in its debut season. We set out this season with not an expectation to make the playoffs. First of all, we're a rookie. Second of all, we're a new team on the grid. It wasn't going to ever come easy. Now, if we can make the playoffs with a win, of course, well, we'll be very glad. But if we leave here today without winning this race and making the playoffs, of course, it's not going to be the end for us. Now, the simple goal as we come through in qualifying, we actually went top of the board, which was very, very surprising. However, you have to get through 2 rounds of qualifying here in Daytona. But as I was saying, the simple goal here was to just build this season into a competitive team by the end of the season. And I think going into season 2, that's where that's going to really happen, of course. Now, as I can confirm as well, this weekend, Tricon Garage would announce we have signed an alliance with Hendrick Motorsports for next season with the switch to Chevrolet. So we're going to be getting some really good opportunities going into next season now as we come through, though, into the second round of qualifying. And unlike Q1, we unfortunately here in Q2 only end up P6. So still, nonetheless, a great effort. We're going to be starting this regular season finale in row 3 as Joey Logano puts that number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford Mustang on pole position. As you see the rest of your order on the screen there throughout the grid, there you got SVG, Austin Dillon down there, and all the way at the bottom, Burt Myers, as we were ready now to go racing Saturday night. I love racing under the lights in NASCAR, and so therefore I'm quite excited for this race here now as we start in row 3 on the outside lane. And one final chance for us, one final chance for everybody that's outside of the top 16. We don't really have a points race this weekend here in Daytona to determine the final playoff spot. Mathematically, yes, we do. Alex Bowman is about 50 points behind Bubba Wallace, but realistically, that's not going to be made up tonight. So what's going to happen is everybody is going to have to win to get in. Here we go. We're racing from Daytona for the regular season finale under the lights now one more time. 8 laps of racing in this first and opening stage, so very short and sweet first stage. Now pit stops, don't have to worry about anything like that. Fuel, tires, they're all good to go until the end of stage 1, so we can just race hard from here to the end of this first and opening stage, and that's exactly what we're going to do now. As you got Joey Logano, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric all up there in the conversation now. And as we head down this back straightaway, we got the number 20 of Christopher Bell just behind us. Bell been very strong all season long. I expect to see some strengths from him going into the playoffs, and I would not be surprised if we get to the end of the season and Christopher Bell is a NASCAR Cup Series champion at the end of 2025. Now as he's going to push me right up to the back of that 24 of William Byron here now, as he'll be side by side with Logano for the lead of this race now, as we'll kind of stay tucked in behind the 24 organization in this main pack. Not very good right now. There's some separation behind us, so we're just kind of staying in line right here and just kind of letting things come to us now. As patience is key. There's only 3 cars right now on this outside lane, so the fact that we're even holding even with the inside is quite an impressive feat to begin with now in these opening couple of laps of racing. But William Byron would eventually get clear of Joey Logano, and he would jump down to the inside. Now that he's down there, it's just myself in the 20, but there's some help coming just behind Christopher Bell, so not the end of the world now. Things are, well, I say there's help coming, but you see the pack in the mirror. They're quite a ways back there, so it's going to take a while here now as, yeah, I mean, we just kind of got like a 10-car group, and then it's like 11th on back. That's just like 3 by 3 right now, as actually we might see some 3 wide up here in this small group leading this race here momentarily. 5 laps to go in stage 1. We're going to get to the back of Cindric now. Logano has jumped up to the outside here. William Byron leads on this inside line, as now Ryan Blaney going to try and make it a three-way Penske top lane here, but actually is going to end up kind of chucking out his teammate of Austin Cindric now. We're going to get to the back of the 2. We're going to be 3 wide. Down the back straightaway now. All 3 Penske drivers will be in the playoffs this season now, with Cindric, Logano, Blaney all looking to be strong come playoff time now, as we continue 3 wide on the top now, and it's just me and my as well Toyota teammate there, Christopher Bell, that's kind of with us. But now that second pack had started to run us down as we were racing hard up here in the front, and as we go down this back straightaway here towards turn number 3, coming to 3 laps to go in stage number 1, the racing's getting more intense. Points, they don't matter for us. Points are out the window. We're here to do one thing, and that's win. So the reality is we do not care at all about stage 1 or stage 2 in this race. We're really just trying to use it as a learning tool to get an idea of the way the momentum is tonight, who to watch out for, which clearly we got to watch out for the 22 of Joey Logano, looking very strong in that Shell Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske. All the Penske cars looking very strong early on in this race, but really just trying to get acclimated with this car as Bubba Wallace goes around in turn 1. Cautions out. That's going to end stage 1. Daniel Suarez is well involved. We end up in P3. Logano and his Penske teammate of Cindric there in P2, as we'll get ready to pit here for tires and fuel and get ready to go green for the second stage.
10 away.
So we'll be starting row 2 on the inside behind the 22 of Joey Logano as we return back to racing here now in stage 2. Well, it's pretty well double the length of that first and opening stage now. Instead of 8 laps, we got 15. So Chase Elliott lines up just behind myself now. Chase Elliott winless this season, and I just don't see him honestly getting a win anytime soon. It really just, the game kind of does him a little bit dirty. I know, of course, you know, you look at IRL, he only won 2 races in 2025 in real life, if you don't count the Clash, and obviously 2024 he only won a single race. So I know Chase Elliott, we don't really expect him to win a lot of races anymore like he used to do back in the day, but I mean, still, the game I feel like could definitely give him a little bit of a bump up in his rating as we exit turn 4 and head down this front straightaway. Now you got Tyler Reddick to my outside here now, and we'll get to the inside of the 43 of Eric Jones now as we come through this tri-oval starting lap 2 of 15 here in stage number 2 now. And Alex Bowman's up here. He knows the task is simple. He needs to win if he wants to put a 4th Hendrick car in the playoffs this season. But of course, Bubba Wallace wants to make sure they get both of the 2311 cars in the playoffs. Sorry, I forgot about Riley Herbst. I think everybody forgets he's on that team now as we head down this back straightaway here. And just following this 48, Bowman almost looks like he wants to go 4 wide there for a very brief moment, but looks like he thinks better of it now. And as we head down into turn 3, we would just kind of stay put here. We've got 3x3x3 right here up front right now. Fantastic racing, and honestly, we race harder in the game than they do in real life in this scenario now, as we've got another crash behind us. Chris Buescher's around on the outside. Caution's gonna fly. Big impacts there in the background, and the yellow is out again here from Daytona. This time, everybody is going to stay out. My assumption is they think this caution will allow us to get to the end of the stage on feel, which I think they are correct. So we are going to stay out.
Coming to the green.
So as you get ready for another restart here, the first restart of stage number 2 will be lined up behind your Atlanta winner from earlier in the season, Eric Jones, as the green flag is back out. And, you know, we talk about the playoff grid and some drivers that would not have made the playoffs on points but have won their way in. Well, Eric Jones is one of those. Austin Cindric, John Hunter Nemechek, Shane Van Gisbergen, just to name a few drivers now that have taken up playoff spots without, you know, pointing their way in. Is going to be interesting to see, you know, will those be the first 4 drivers out? Will we see, you know, a surprise elimination? With the way the AI are in NASCAR 25, I'd be a bit surprised to see a surprise elimination. But we do know that the AI, I mean, fast cars can crash and have a bad finish here sometimes. So, you know, don't rule that out. That is still going to be, you know, a possibility in the playoffs as well. So only time is going to tell. I got to say, though, I am so looking forward to getting to a point where, you know, we are a genuinely top 10 and winning speed race car, because racing the AI in NASCAR 25 is super fun. As hold that thought, around goes Ryan Blaney down the front straightaway. Caution again, Keselowski, Gilliland, several involved in that one. Caution flies one more time. Now we guaranteed can make it to the end of stage 2. We'll stay out and get ready to go bank racing here for the end of this second stage. How about it now? Some chaos here in stage number 2, and we'll get ready to go green one more time now. As I was just kind of mentioning there about, the AI and how fun they are to race, and that's why I'm so excited to kind of get this car, into a point where it's a competitive top 10 race winning car, because racing, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Christopher Bell, those guys, Ryan Blaney, racing them guys for wins is going to be so much fun with the way the AI race in this game. I gotta be honest though, I think super speedway racing is probably my least favorite type of racing in NASCAR 25. I think just the AI in general, they just need a lot of work. Road courses, of course, you guys know I love road course racing, but I think those are by far the second worst now. They need a lot of work as well. So if they can really kind of tweak those and make that type of racing better with the AI, we are going to have so much fun, and I am really looking forward to when that time comes here. Now, obviously, it won't be in NASCAR 25. That's a NASCAR 26 thing, and we know, obviously, every game that comes out, a racing game always makes, improvements or tweaks on their AI. Maybe not necessarily always improves it. You look at the F1 games, and they haven't always gone in the right direction with their AI, but nonetheless, we continue on here now, going up the middle lane between Keselowski and Hamlin here, coming to 2 laps to go in stage 2 now, and once again, I'm just kind of using this as a learning tool of like, okay, what can I do? Where can I put my car? Can I go forward if I put it in the middle? Just really trying to set myself up for the final points of this race and have an opportunity to, of course, take the checkered flag as we exit turn 4. Now jumping up to the outside in front of Tyler Reddick, now another winless driver on the season now as we come through to 2 to go. And following that 71 of McDowell, we're going to go 3 wide to the outside. Keselowski and Gilliland, who were just caught up in that crash on the last yellow, are now P1 and P2. But out of turn 2, Keselowski drops to the bottom. Gilliland jumps up in front of me now as I've gotten up here with help from the 45 of Tyler Reddick. McDowell in the middle now. Gilliland jumps to the middle in front of the driver that used to drive that 34, and Reddick pushes us out to the lead as we approach the final lap here of stage number 2. What can Tyler Reddick do as we exit turn 4 now? He's going to jump down to the middle. We're going to cover that off. Here comes the 23 as well. How about Bubba Wallace? Now, Wallace is going to be worried because we have had a lot of surprise winners in super speedway racing this season. And here comes Bubba Wallace on this final lap down the back straightaway, and Alex Bowman as well. The 2 drivers that are, last and the first one out in the playoff bracket right now are going to be battling for the stage win. Hamlin just pushed Bowman right on past me. I did not expect that kind of a run from them. That kind of kills our chances to win the stage as we exit turn 4 down the front straightaway. Alex Bowman, we're going to be 4 wide through the trioval, but Alex Bowman's going to hang on, win stage 2 over Ryan Blaney. Ryan Preece must win, and P3 over Hamlin, myself there. Wallace, Elliott, Herbst, Reddick, all of 23-11 right there from 6 to P9 right there in stage 2 as we'll get ready to pit again for tires and fuel and get ready to go green for, well, crunch time, the third and final stage of not only Daytona, but the entire regular season. Everything is about to be on the line right here, and honestly, I'm excited for this final stage. We just gained 2 spots as well, putting us in a good spot already. Row 2, P3 here on the inside line as we go back racing now, and Alex Bowman, well, you could kind of argue he won the wrong stage now as we get ready to go back racing. Points don't matter. Bubba Wallace has scored enough points. Bowman has to win this race if he's going to get in now as we head down towards turn number 1, and it's going to be 17 laps of racing here in stage 3 now, and Ryan Preece, don't rule him out as well. Ryan Preece, we know, is very capable of being strong in that number 60. Such a colorful paint scheme on that number 60 as well. I don't remember seeing that paint scheme in 2025, but now that I'm seeing it for the first time, not a huge fan of it, to be completely honest with you. But as we head down into turn number 3 to the inside of Bubba Wallace, so 3 wide in front of us for the lead. Bowman, Preece, Blaney as well, and we're going to get to the back of this 48, give him a little bit of a shot forward here. And obviously, I cannot afford to give this 48 help. We're trying to beat him. We're trying to win this race. So, I mean, although I'm going to help him right now, when you get into those final 10 laps of racing, it's a very different scenario, of course. Now, as we head down into turn 1, Denny Hamlin's jumped up to the second lane here. I'm going to try and keep it pinned to the inside of the 60 now, as we give us just a light little tap right there to the back of the Ally Financial 48 now, as I got Chase Elliott, Bowman's teammate behind us, who's actually going to give me a push. We're going to go 3 wide to the inside for the lead of this race now. Ryan Preece edging out in front here. We're 3 wide for P1 into turn number 3, and here we go with help from the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet of Chase Elliott. We take over the lead here from Daytona. The question is now, how long will we be able to stay out in front here from this Daytona regular season finale? It is not going to be easy as we come to 15 laps to go in this race, but there's Grillo's Pickles on board now. As you can see, Chase Elliott would jump up to the middle lane and now start passing me as well, but now I've got help from his teammate of the 24 of William Byron, but Reddick's pushing that 9 car ahead. Zane Smith's up here as well in the conversation. As of right now, I mean, you know, we've got Chase Elliott up here, you got William Byron, you got Reddick. So there's a lot of potential for a non-surprise winner here, but I say that, and now Zane Smith is going to go to the front of this pack with Christopher Bell as well. So we really just got to wait and see, you know, when we get to kind of 5 or 6 laps to go, what the vibe is like, how many, you know, non-playoff drivers are up here in the conversation. Usually around that 5 to go mark, you get a pretty good idea of how things are going to shape out. Riley Herbst, though, goes to the lead with Michael McDowell here with 13 to go in Stage 3. Keep in mind, we do have to come into the pits. We cannot make it to the end of this race, so that's another thing to kind of keep in the back of our mind is, yeah, we're probably going to have to pit, you know, and it's going to be late in the race. I say that, around goes Burt Myers, and the number 50, caution's going to fly. That might change everything. Yep, everybody's going to be pitting, and just as we brought up the strategy, well, the strategy's out the window, because with this pit stop, everybody will be able to make it to the end of this race. It's going to be a can of fuel. I was considering taking some tires, but it really doesn't make sense, so we're going to take no tires. We'll get ready to go green here for what could be the final restart here in the Daytona regular season finale.
Pace cars off.
So P7 is where we line up here. Riley Herbst has the lead over Michael McDowell now as we are back underway one more time here from Daytona under the lights. Saturday night racing, it's 9 laps of racing that remain here, and we are, I mean, I've been keeping ourselves in a great position all race long. I mean, I think we've been, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think we've been just about top 10 all race long. For sure, we've been, what, top 15 all race long now. I mean, it's just been a race that has treated us very, very well. Obviously, we haven't really led the whole race. I mean, it's hard to maintain the lead, so especially when you've got 3 lanes that you kind of have to occupy. So it's really just going to be about timing at the end of this thing. And there goes Alex Bowman in that 48, now getting to that middle lane to the inside of his teammate. What a fun race this has been. Whatever happens, happens at this point. Now, I'm hopeful that we're going to be racing for a win here in just 7 laps time, or 8 laps time, sorry, now as we cross the line. So as we continue though behind this number 20 of Christopher Bell, we're just going to kind of let things kind of come to us now, as I think the inside line could be the way to go. At least that was my thinking early on, but as we continue on, I mean, it's not really going anywhere. So I make the decision, jump up to the middle lane here behind the 45 of Tyler Reddick. Now Chase Elliott on the outside trying to lead this lane. Now you can see Bowman is going to jump up with Zane Smith. That puts us P2 in the middle lane. And now McDowell was kind of flirting with coming up, but hold on. Here comes Reddick and this number 85 as well. We're going to give a shot to the back of that Jordan 45. 7 laps to go here from the Daytona regular season finale. Now Carson Hocevar just behind myself. We had quite a run-in last episode where I tried to wreck him. I mean, 100% honest, we tried to take him out. Didn't quite work out. Of course, he made one heck of a save. Got to give him the credit there. But now he's kind of forced into a position where now we kind of have to work together. And here we go. Hocevar to my back bumper through the middle. Now to the back of the leader of Zane Smith, who kind of covers the middle lane. Could not keep the throttle pinned down. Shot to the back of the Aaron's 38 now into turn number 3. We're clear up top if we want to take it. But no, hold on. I thought I was clear. There is a car up there. That's the 48 of Alex Bowman. We don't need the top lane. All we need is the 77 to push us out in front now. And as we come to 6 laps to go in this race, Carson Hocevar has pushed us in that Spire 77 to the lead here in Daytona now as we try to occupy all the lanes now as we're in control with 5 laps to go. Here comes Coke 600 winner of John Hunter Nemechek with help from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as we head down into turn number 3, but right now seeing a lot of single file, a little bit of double file behind us, but I'm seeing a lot of disorganization, and that's really what I want to see coming into these closing laps of racing. As we head down this front straightaway though, you see we do lose the lead now to this 42 of John Hunter Nemechek now as we cross the line. So with just 4 laps to go, it's still not going to come easy in these last few laps of racing, but we get back out in front with help from that 77. Ryan Blaney as well up here in the conversation. Surprised with how much the 2 and the 22 of Logano and Cindric have kind of faded throughout this race, but that's just, you know, the way these super speedway races can go sometimes. Now as here comes Ryan Blaney with help from the 38 of Zane Smith. Now I need Hocevar to get back to my back bumper now, looking who's in must-win situations around us. Well, Hocevar, of course, the 38 of Zane Smith, the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I see Riley Herbst back there in a must-win scenario, so there's quite a few cars up here that need to win their way in. Zane Smith jumps down right in front of us there. That was super close right there. That could have went very wrong, and now Stenhouse is going to push the 42 out front. I'm going to push the 38 to the inside of the 12. They're 3 wide for the lead, now 3 wide for kind of P2 now as John Hunter is clear through 1 and 2 now with 3 laps to go, and we've kind of backed up a little bit now, but I would get a big shot to the back of the 38 and get himself back up alongside Nemechek for the lead of this race now with approaching just 2 laps to go here from Daytona as we exit turn 4. We've had Carson Hocevar behind us locked in for the last handful of laps now, and as we cross the line, everyone's gotten reorganized. It's going to come down to just a push and momentum, and that's probably going to be the deciding factor on who wins this race. As of right now, we are, we're running P3, but we're not in a position to win. We're going to have to try to find a way to get around this 38 or just do something different to get ourselves as the lead car in line. Speaking of the lead car in line, Riley Herbst with a big push from Christopher Bell to the lead of this race with a lap and a half to go, and we've got so many drivers who need to win who are now up here. The 38, the 35, myself, Hocevar as well as we roll through turn 3, approaching 1 lap to go. Will we stay green to the end? Christopher Bell now with help on the top. He goes to the lead with help from the 24 of William Byron. Bubba Wallace as well. He loves what he's seeing out his windshield. 1 lap to go. We're giving shots to the back of the 38 to push him forward. Now Riley Herbst is coming back here with a bit of run, and he'll settle in behind the 42 as we give a huge shot to the back of the 38 now as we roll through 1 and 2 now. And as you can see up front, it's Byron leading, Bell fading, Bubba Wallace in P2 doing what he needs to do to solidify himself in the playoffs. But hold on, there's a huge gap. This is the opportunity we need right here. Now as we roll up to the back of the 38, Wallace there, we're into the top. I'm going to jump 3 wide to the outside. We need help, however, to make this move work here, and Riley Herbst could be the key ingredient to making this happen. As we exit turn 4, it's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. William Byron leads Wallace. It's going to be 3 wide to the line. We've got no run. William Byron hangs on and wins the regular season finale here in Daytona, and we have to settle for another 3rd place finish, just barely missing the playoffs here, and William Byron shuts down the hopes of anybody that was trying to win their way in, and that means that Bubba Wallace will be your final spot in the playoffs here in this 2025 season. That was a lot of fun. I think, honestly, we made the right move. It just obviously didn't work out. So I would have absolutely 10 times again done that move. It's just, we just didn't quite have the speed or the momentum that we needed right there at the end, unfortunately. You see, of course, we end up 25th in the regular season. Looking at the playoffs, though, well, it was, I kind of just skipped over it, but Denny Hamlin up top there, 2,053 points to start the playoffs over Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Byron, and Blaney all in the top 10. Of course, we'll look through the rest of this grid here. SVG up there in P6, but Chase Elliott, Briscoe, Jones, Allmendinger all above the cut line. Nemechek, Reddick, Wallace, those guys all below the cut line, and last is Chris Buescher. That's going to do it for me. Next episode, we start the playoffs where we could kind of play spoiler, and we're going to Darlington. I've got some confidence going into Darlington, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.